Hello everyone, my name is Elliot and welcome. This channel is going to be my project for while I work towards my dream. So hopefully it will stay here for a long time. The shorter, the better, but we know this is going to be a long project and I hope to be able to, with this channel, show what I'm working for, show what I'm learning, inspire other people. I work very hard. I work for the climate. If you work hard or if you work for the climate, I hope to be able to show you that you're not alone, to inspire you. And this is my documentation. So welcome. My name is Elliot. I'm 18. I've just graduated high school, turning 19 this year. I live in Sweden. My dream is to save the climate. And a lot of what I do centralizes around the climate. And that's very important to me. That, along with the people around me being happy and my ambition, summarizes a lot of how I act. And with this channel, I want to post something every Sunday and show what I've done for the week, that the tasks I've done, what I've learned, who I've been jumping on calls with, maybe not names, but just these are what I'm doing, and most importantly, my mistakes. So I can show that I learned from them, and you can learn from my mistakes as well. I own a business development company called Earthomia. I That's my first step in saving the climate. The first step I took in my dream. Earthomia specializes in helping sustainability consultancies grow. I look at their sales cycle and I develop it. So it can be marketing, it can be inner processes, it can be sales. Sales is my background. I used to work in sales. My goal with Earthomia is to be able to empower other people helping the climate and be able to constantly build on the height and on the width with that. And then use the funds that I will acquire through my company to start and help other people out, make investments in green companies, help people out with investments in their tech ventures, etc. I have no idea what I'm going to do with everything, but I've no doubt that I will find a way to make it to take away carbon from the atmosphere to prevent it from ever being there. I wanted to share this week. This was my first week of doing this project. Not my first week of working on the company, but what's been happening. So first of all, my original plan was to grow on LinkedIn, to build a presence there, as well as YouTube. But since I do not, I made mistakes. This is the first mistake we're going to learn from together. I got restricted on LinkedIn. I don't know for how long. My guess is that I've been outreaching on there, and either they do not like the way I've been outreaching, or they do not appreciate of the amount of people I outreach to very quickly, because I went from 0 outreaches a week to like 200, and that got me ported from the platform at the moment. So then my next step in the week was, okay, well, I can't use LinkedIn to build a presence. I can't use LinkedIn to outreach more. I need to do both of these, or I want to do both of these to be to use it to grow my company and grow myself. So when figuring this out, my first idea was to jump on a call. No, not to jump on a call. To scrape from Google Maps, and search for sustainability consultancies. That would be my keyword, near, and then a city or a town. And that will generate the best results for me on Google Maps. I would then use a scraper to scrape those results, qualify them, and use email outreach. So I sat down, I learned how to do the Google outreach, um, the Google My Business outreach, and then I also programmed ChatGPT. I got a couple of inputs to make it be able to teach me and correct me on my email outreach so I can learn as quick as possible. And that was the only thing I didn't have time for this weekend. Was one of my goals was going to be 2 hours of learning how to do the email outreach, just writing mock emails, and I didn't end up have time for that. And the next step was no, actually, I'm not done with outreach. So that was my initial plan. But then I jumped on a call with a friend of mine who does something similar. And I asked them, okay, this is my situation. I'm just gotten restricted from LinkedIn. What can I do to prevent this from happening again? So she actually gave me a wonderful insight that first of all, you need to own your network. So since most of my network was on LinkedIn, I don't like my network has just been drastically lessened. So I started immediately after that call with a list of this is my network, here's how I can reach them, etc. So that I can avoid this happening again if something similar happens. The second thing she thought was an alternate way of reaching out, a way of seeing the readiness of the companies. I would like to share this, but it doesn't come from me. So I will have to check with her if I can put this onto this channel. But essentially, it's different ways to check the readiness of the different companies, and there are sites where that are used to pair consultancies with um, the people they work with, where I also can find people. So in a wide broader sense, that's what she tipped me on. So that's how I've been starting this weekend to try and outreach. I thought it was kind of difficult at first to find um, people with the right qualifications that I actually believe that I could help, and it was way too slow than I wanted to at first. But that's some part of the process. It's going to take some time, and in the future, I will probably be able to do this a lot quicker. And now to the presence part. I decided that I wanted to use this channel, but I didn't want this channel to be just for sustainability consultants. Everyone can watch me. I want to be able to inspire everyone and just be this a documentation of my journey. So I decided to also just focus on expanding my network, to work voluntarily. I'm part of a great Slack community, Work on Climate it's called, and to be able to help people in there to learn, to be able to provide and help, but also leverage it to be able to build a network with it, build a reputation. So that was what I've decided thus far to replace the kind of LinkedIn publication. Maybe LinkedIn accounts come back, then I will only use that for presence. I do not dare anymore at the time, I don't dare to use LinkedIn as outreach anymore. That would only be inbound. The second thing I did this week was support networking. I will do it every week, most likely. And I had jumped on a couple of great calls. I don't remember them off the top of my head, but most of them were about me me being able to solve this problem. I jumped on, talked to different people. I have some calls next week with people who do similar things that I do to see if we can come up with better or more advanced solutions to my outreach problem. Um, and the third thing I've been working on this week mainly is been uh, doing the sales. Sales is the background. I always work to sharpen my skill in sales. I will always work to sharpen my toolbox. I will learn more about sustainability consultancies, what they do, and I will always learn more about sales and the sales cycle, how I can improve upon the sales cycle, because that's important for me and that's important for everyone who I work with. So I've been watching and transcribing one of my mock calls. I held a mock call. It's a sales role play, and I held a role play. I made a guide for discovery. I won't go into the depths of my sales process at the moment. I will do that later on in another video. But I transcribed the entire mock call, and when I found something that I didn't like, which was quite often, since I'm not perfect, you can always improve in sales. So I rewrote every one of my answers or questions 3 times to make myself always sharper, to be able to ask better questions and come up with better formulations and become better. that was about everything I had today, and I hope you'll enjoy my journey. I sure will, and I'll see you again next week. Cheers.